Kenny Rogers, the iconic country singer, had a colorful romantic history that included 5 marriages throughout his life. But it was his widow, Wanda Rogers, who recently made headlines by finding love again just 3 years after Kenny's passing. Join us as Facts Verse presents Kenny Rogers died 3 years ago. Now his wife breaks her silence. Kenny Rogers' 5 wives. Kenny Rogers, the celebrated country music legend, had a tumultuous love life, marrying 5 women throughout his 81 years. Each marriage had its own story and outcome, ultimately shaping the course of Rogers' personal life. His first wife, Janice Gordon, entered his life during their high school years. The young couple fell in love and tied the knot in 1958 when Rogers was just 19. But the marriage was short-lived, lasting only 2 years before they divorced in 1960. Despite the separation, they had 1 child together, a daughter named Carole. Following his divorce from Janice, Kenny Rogers embarked on a second marriage with Jean Rogers. The two exchanged vows in the same year as his divorce, hoping for a fresh start. Unfortunately, that union faced difficulties, and they divorced in 1963. They didn't have any children together, and in 1964, Kenny found love again. He married Margo Anderson, his third wife. Their marriage endured for 12 years, making it his longest-lasting relationship. Margo, an actress and dancer, brought joy into Rogers' life, and they welcomed a son named Kenny Jr. But the strain of Rogers' demanding career eventually took its toll on their relationship, leading to their divorce in 1976. Kenny's fourth wife was Marianne Gordon, an actress he met after his divorce from Margo Anderson. They tied the knot in 1977 and enjoyed nearly 2 decades of marital bliss. Together, they had a son named Christopher Cody. But as Rogers entered his midlife, their relationship faced challenges, and they ultimately divorced in 1993. Marianne attributed their separation to Rogers' midlife crisis. Kenny's final and most enduring marriage was to Wanda Miller. They crossed paths in the 1990s, and despite a significant age difference, love blossomed. They exchanged vows in 1997 and remained happily married until Rogers' passing in 2020. Wanda, who became a prominent figure in public due to their relationship, stood by Rogers' side until the end. They were blessed with twin sons, Justin and Jordan, born in 2004, who became the youngest members of Rogers' family. Rogers' path crossed with Wanda Miller's at a restaurant called Preacha in Atlanta, Georgia. It was a blind date, and Miller, then 26 years old, worked as a hostess at the establishment. Coincidentally, on that day, Miller had been discussing her desire to find her special someone with a coworker. The coworker assured her that her night would soon arrive. Unbeknownst to Miller, fate had a surprise in store for her. As Rogers dined at the restaurant, he caught sight of Miller and was instantly captivated. After his meal, he called the restaurant to ask about her and left his number. When Miller arrived at work the next day, her coworkers informed her about the call, but she initially dismissed it as a joke. But finally realizing the truth, she called Rogers back, although she never expected their connection would evolve into a romantic relationship. Getting to know Kenny's widow. Despite their initial connection, Rogers and Miller faced challenges along the way. One significant obstacle was their age difference, as Rogers was 28 years older than Miller. This age gap initially concerned Miller's parents. In fact, they called Rogers when they learned about the relationship, expressing disapproval. Rogers, understanding their concerns, assured them he would always be honest with Miller and with them. Eventually, Rogers and Miller's parents formed a close bond and became best friends. After 5 years of dating, Rogers and Miller exchanged vows in 1997. Throughout their journey together, Miller stood by Rogers' side, supporting him in both his personal and professional endeavors. As a widow, Miller often reminisces about her life with Rogers through social media. On the 1-year anniversary of his death in March, she shared a series of poignant photos on Instagram. The images included Rogers with their sons as toddlers, Miller and her sons standing by Rogers' casket, and a heartfelt picture of Miller and Rogers together. In the caption, Miller expressed her eternal love for Rogers, quoting his belief that one is never truly gone as long as they're remembered. Born August 21, 1938 in Houston, Kenny Rogers became one of the best-selling music artists of all time. His discography boasts numerous chart-topping hits, including Lucille, Love or Something Like It, Lady, and the iconic duet Islands in the Stream with Dolly Parton. Kenny's contributions to the country music genre earned him a well-deserved place in the Country Music Hall of Fame, and his star shines brightly on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Wanda has been grieving for years. In interviews, Wanda Rogers has opened up about her life since Kenny's passing. She's discussed the profound impact of his loss on their family and has shared how she's been navigating through grief while preserving his memory. Wanda fondly remembers the simplicity and joy of Saturdays in the Rogers household. Kenny would take their twin sons, Justin and Jordan, on a special outing they called Super Saturday. These outings would begin with a McDonald's breakfast, followed by a trip to the car wash, and culminate in a visit to Chuck E. Cheese. These down-to-earth moments, far away from the glitz and glamour of the stage, are the ones the family misses the most. Wanda has also expressed the immense void created by Kenny's absence. She longs for his love, support, and touch. Every aspect of their life together is missed, and she wishes for one last conversation to ensure his well-being. Her grief journey has been challenging over the past 3 years, but she's been determined to keep Kenny's memory and legacy alive. One of Kenny's closest friends, Lionel Richie, has been a pillar of support for Wanda during this difficult time. Lionel, who lived with Kenny for years in LA, has been a source of comfort and guidance. He regularly checks in with Wanda, offering advice on staying positive during dark days. Wanda describes Lionel as a true brother to Kenny, with a genuine concern for her and their son's well-being. Wanda treasures the last day she spent with Kenny at home, watching movies and indulging in his favorite dish, vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce. She finds solace in knowing that their final hours together were filled with love and simple pleasures. Wanda often revisits the journal entries she made that day, as they now hold the essence of their time together. Justin and Jordan, now 19 years old, frequently share memories and stories of their father, keeping his spirit alive within the family. They also communicate with him through prayer and find solace in unexpected moments when Kenny's music plays in various places they visit. Despite the feelings of happiness they find in their lives, Wanda admits to feeling a sense of guilt, knowing Kenny won't be physically present for important milestones like their high school graduation. Wanda firmly believes that Kenny is watching over their family, even in his absence. She shares a heartwarming anecdote about the presence of little red birds that seem to appear whenever they talk about Kenny. These red birds often land on their balcony and serve as a comforting reminder of his enduring spirit. Wanda recalls the advice Lionel Richie gave her, assuring that signs from Kenny may not come immediately, but eventually will manifest themselves. Wanda has finally moved on. Despite facing illness for several years, Kenny had contemplated what he wanted for his family after passing. He expressed to Wanda, who was 56 at the time, he wanted her to find love again and be happy. Now, 3 years later, she has indeed found love once more. And she believes it aligns with both her and Kenny's desire to demonstrate to their twin sons that it's okay to move forward in life. While embracing her new relationship, she remains committed to preserving Kenny's memory and legacy. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know Kenny Rogers was married 5 times and his widow just remarried? Let us know in the comments section below.